Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia with Regier Educational Services and Leaders Inspired. You might be checking out some of the Trish Talks vlogs here on the YouTube site. And I'm super excited to be here. Again, my name is Patricia Regier, and I am pleased that you're joining me. I am celebrating 2 years from my day one of starting Regier Educational Services, which includes Leaders Inspired, Intentionally Brave resources. And we're all about helping you be intentional in your life and intentionally lead, live, and learn. So this is only my second live on YouTube ever. The first one I did not that long ago and went through the complicated method, and it didn't quite work out fully when I scheduled it. So I ended up hopping on my phone that time. And this time, quite honestly, I was a little bit nervous to schedule it and to run into some issues. So I decided just to jump on live immediately. So I know it hasn't been really advertised that this is what I'm doing. So we'll see if people find me and join in now. And I'll see too if I'm able to catch any comments or questions, because what I put out on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn was the request for questions for my business. So what I've done is I put a whole bunch of questions in this hat, and I'm going to be pulling out questions to answer. And just celebrating the last 2 years, celebrating you for being part of this, and sharing a little bit more about me and about Regier Educational Services, as well as Leaders Inspired. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm running, facilitating a workshop or a learning event, is to have an icebreaker at the beginning. And I always think it's funny if I had a big block of ice and just smashed it as an icebreaker, but I don't know if other people would find that funny as well. But I usually toss around a get to know you ball, makes it a little bit more active. I've got a lot of fantastic resources for icebreakers and to warm up a learning group. I've got dice, and depending on the topic, sometimes when I'm talking about your preferred learning, some people call it learning styles or multiple intelligences. There's been research about that. But really what lights you up is the reason why I picked the light bulb logo, is because I hope every experience is always comfortable, safe, and enjoyable, no matter the topic. So sometimes I bring Play-Doh even though I'm working with adults, because it's a lot of fun and everybody learns differently and likes to do different things. So especially when I'm talking about and teaching about what lights you up, whether it's train the trainer or as for you every day, sometimes I bring Play-Doh. And we have the leaders, or rather the Inspired Learning Personality Quiz as well, that you can find out what lights you up and get some ideas of how you can incorporate that for yourself as well. I would love it. Just so I don't forget, I brought my little happy face. If you would like this video, share, comment, and if you have questions as well, I'm going to be doing more lives on YouTube and as well as on Instagram and Facebook today to get through some of the questions. So let's jump in to these questions. Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple. All right. What am I proud of? I've already talked about the Inspired Learning Personality Quiz. Shout out to family and friends who have been along this journey with me as well. Next question, why? Why am I did I even get into business? So a little bit of history. 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, I left a director position, a job I was part of for 10 years at an organization. Wasn't sure what I was going to do next. That's not typical of me to leave a job before having a next job. So I went backpacking in Europe by myself for the very first time in Europe for 3 weeks. And that was fantastic. I did see friends, wonderful friends at the beginning and end of the trip. So that really bookended it perfectly. But it was a great way to change chapters in my life. And when I came back about a week and a half later, we got to this date where family and I were talking to discuss what was next. And it had been in the back of my mind. It wasn't completely out of the blue to start my own business, be an entrepreneur, and use the talents and gifts and knowledge that I have to share in a different way. So jumped in. And why I jumped in was because everything had been leading me to that point, and I listened to what I was being pulled towards and took that giant leap of courage. So why I do this is because I really do love to see people light up when they're learning and enjoying those experiences and helping inspire people. All right. I want to thank customers over the last couple of years. This definitely doesn't list everybody, but Niagara College, Brock University, Osteoporosis Ontario, Salvation Army in Hamilton, Community Support Services of Niagara, and all those who attended workshops and the online courses as well. And there's so many more, but that's a few of a shout out and thank you as well. All right. What was my biggest comfort zone stretch as an entrepreneur starting a business? And it's definitely stretched me over the last 2 years. But I think going live, it continues to stretch me. But it's really only the last month or two that I got more comfortable being on camera. Over 100 videos later, really the last year has been more of a focus on being online, and that has stretched my comfort zone. I can talk in front of a lot of people live, no problem, face to face, in person, but being on camera, whether it was live or recording, definitely stretched my comfort zone. All right, and I will definitely save some of these questions for the Instagram and Facebook Live. Now, what am I looking forward to as we go into a changing of seasons? Literally, I am looking forward to stand-up paddleboarding. I bought that right after deciding to start the business because I wanted to make sure I was intentional on staying above water, keeping my head above water, staying afloat, and balancing life. So figuratively and literally, and I'm really looking forward to stand-up paddleboarding. And let's see. Biggest growth in me personally. As I mentioned before, confidence on camera has been a big part of growing, getting more comfortable. I know I have another question related to that, whether it's biggest growth in me personally, and it's a double between professionally and personally, growing in knowing my own value. And I think especially coming from 20 years in the nonprofit sector, hourly wage, to then now quoting on jobs in a totally different format and context, I grew in that as well, and growing my confidence in a brand new venture. So confidence is a big one. Even if I'm confident in what I'm doing, there's always aspects of who we are that we have to keep growing. And what have I learned? So much. Everything from uploading videos, email campaigns, automation, marketing, video creation, editing, and learning about you, the tribe that is part of YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whether you're part of the workshops or online or in person. Getting to know you is, that's the reason why I'm doing this, is how can I better offer services and resources and inspire you? So, and I'm going to probably only go maybe one or two more questions. My best accomplishment over the last 2 years, I was really, really glad. When I started out, there's so many different areas I can talk about and work on, but what was pouring out of me was the Intentionally Brave initially workshop and course, and just that messaging of helping people intentionally lead, live, and learn. So the Intentionally Brave online course, or when I'm a keynote speaker at a conference or at a workshop, I'm really pleased with the resources that came out of that research and development. It's a really fantastic course that helps people grow their courage, stretch their comfort zone, be positive in their thinking, look at things. This was a prop from the very first, and it is heavy, first workshop where I talk about fear or guilt and what we're carrying in our backpacks. So I do like props. Collaboration course that I've taught. I've got some puzzle pieces, and I really enjoy putting together things like these postcards where people can write their notes and have tangible resources, because I want the learning experience to always be fantastic, whether it's in video form, online, and all the different topics that we talk about. Been connecting with some awesome people with interviews and videos, doing collaborations, and there's more of that to come as well. So this has been fantastic. I don't want it to go too long. I do have more questions, so I'm going to hop on to Instagram and Facebook to go live and continue these questions. There, I will include that in the description below. Thank you for being part of this. My name is Patricia Regier. Thank you for checking out the Leaders Inspired YouTube channel. And if you could like this, hit the subscribe button so then you can know when more live videos are happening or other ones are uploaded every week. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Intentionally lead, live, and learn. And thanks for joining me. Until next time.